Mickey Mouse's Halloween Home Run Adventure. It was a crisp, cool evening in the town of Toonville. Orange and yellow leaves danced in the wind, and a sense of excitement filled the air. Halloween was here, and the whole town was buzzing with plans for the big night. Mickey Mouse, the town's favorite fun-loving mouse, was especially excited. He had decided to dress up as a baseball player, inspired by his love for the sport. Mickey stood in front of his mirror, adjusting his outfit. He wore a bright red suit with matching pants, a blue baseball hat that sat snugly on his head, and his favorite yellow shoes with blue laces. Underneath his suit, he had a blue t-shirt that matched his hat perfectly. He twirled around, admiring himself. "Oh boy, I sure look like a real baseball star," he exclaimed with a grin. He grabbed his trusty wooden baseball bat and gave it a playful swing. "Tonight's going to be a blast." Minnie Mouse walked in, wearing a sparkling witch costume with a tall purple hat and a glittering cape. She chuckled when she saw Mickey's enthusiastic practice swings. "Wow, Mickey, you look like you're ready to hit a home run tonight," she teased. "Gosh, Minnie, you think so?" Mickey asked, tipping his blue hat. "I'm hoping for a real treat this Halloween. And who knows, maybe I'll even play a game or two with the kids in the park." Minnie laughed. "Well, with you, every day's an adventure. But remember, tonight we have to visit Donald and Daisy's Halloween party. And then Goofy's got something planned down at the old pumpkin patch." Mickey nodded. "You bet! But first, I need to make sure I've got everything ready for the big trick-or-treating kickoff at the park. Let's go meet the gang." Mickey and Minnie made their way to the park, where they were greeted by a sea of colorful costumes. Children and adults alike had come dressed as ghosts, goblins, superheroes, and princesses. The park was decorated with glowing jack-o'-lanterns, strands of orange lights, and spooky cobwebs hanging from the trees. Goofy, dressed as a cowboy with a large floppy hat and a pair of bright orange boots, waved wildly from across the park. "Hey there, Mickey! Looking like a real all-star tonight," he hollered. "Golly, Goofy, you look great too," Mickey replied, laughing at his friend's enthusiastic twirling of a lasso. Donald Duck waddled over in a pirate costume, complete with a feathered hat, a shiny hook, and a stuffed parrot perched on his shoulder. "Hi, matey! Who's ready for some Halloween fun?" he quacked, trying to look fierce. Mickey grinned. "We sure are, Donald! Say, what's that you've got there?" Donald held up a treasure map, crumpled and yellowed at the edges. "I found this in an old book at the library. It's supposed to lead to a hidden treasure right here in Toonville. I thought it'd be fun to follow it tonight." Minnie clapped her hands in excitement. "Oh, a treasure hunt! Sounds perfect for Halloween." Just then, Daisy Duck appeared, dressed as a ballerina, and joined in. "Let's make it a spooky treasure hunt," she suggested with a wink. "We can split into teams and search the whole town." Mickey's eyes sparkled with excitement. "That sounds like a great idea. But first, we need to start trick-or-treating. How about we gather all the candy we can, and then use the map to guide us?" Everyone agreed, and they set off, baskets in hand, going door to door through the neighborhood. Mickey, with his bright red suit and blue baseball hat, was a hit everywhere they went. Kids laughed and cheered when they saw him, and he played along, tossing an imaginary baseball and pretending to slide into home plate. At every house, they were greeted by friendly faces who marveled at their costumes and filled their baskets with candy. The night was filled with laughter, music, and the rustling of leaves under their feet. After a while, they gathered at the park once more, their baskets overflowing with candy. "Okay, gang, it's time to find that treasure," Mickey declared, looking at the map Donald held. "What's the first clue, Captain Donald?" Donald puffed out his chest, trying to look serious. "The first clue says, follow the path where shadows grow, past the haunted house where the wind does blow." Goofy scratched his head. "Haunted house, huh? You mean that old spooky mansion on the hill?" Minnie shivered a little. "Oh, the one everyone says is haunted by the ghost of Old Man McCree." Daisy giggled. "Come on, Minnie, it's just a story. Besides, it's all in good Halloween fun." Mickey nodded confidently. "Let's go, team, to the haunted house." The group marched together toward the hill where the old mansion stood, its silhouette dark against the moonlit sky. As they got closer, the wind began to whistle through the trees, making the branches sway like skeletons dancing in the night. "Gosh, it sure is spooky out here," Goofy whispered. Mickey, still feeling brave, led the way up the creaky wooden steps of the mansion. The door creaked open slowly, revealing a dimly lit hallway filled with cobwebs and dust. "Keep your eyes peeled, folks," Mickey whispered. "We're looking for another clue." They tiptoed through the house, passing portraits with eyes that seemed to follow them, and old furniture covered in white sheets. Suddenly, Minnie spotted a piece of paper tucked under a rusty old lamp. "Here it is!" she exclaimed, grabbing it. Mickey read it aloud. "Look for the light where pumpkins glow, under the oak tree where goblins go." "Pumpkins glowing," Goofy said, scratching his head again. "I think I saw a bunch of pumpkins near the old oak tree in the center of the park." "Then that's our next stop," Mickey shouted, and they all hurried back outside, relieved to leave the spooky mansion behind. They raced back to the park, where a giant oak tree stood tall in the middle. Around its base were dozens of carved pumpkins, their faces flickering in the dark. "Look for something unusual," Mickey suggested, scanning the pumpkins carefully. After a few minutes, Daisy spotted one pumpkin that seemed different. It had a small blue baseball painted on it. "Hey, Mickey, look at this," she pointed. Mickey knelt down and carefully lifted the pumpkin. Underneath it, he found another clue. "Good eye, Daisy. Let's see what this one says," he read. "To find the treasure, go down the slide, where laughter and joy take you for a ride." Donald tapped his beak with a feathered finger. The slide? That must mean the playground. Off they went, their footsteps crunching on the fallen leaves, and soon they arrived at the playground. The moonlight made the slides and swings glimmer. The group searched all around until Goofy noticed a small box wedged at the bottom of the biggest slide. "Found it!" Goofy shouted. Mickey and the others gathered around as he carefully opened the box. Inside, there was a sparkling silver key and another note. Mickey read the note aloud. "For the final treasure, use this key to open the door where the candy flows free." "The candy flows free," Minnie pondered. "That sounds like the old candy shop on Main Street." They all cheered and hurried towards Main Street, their excitement growing with each step. When they reached the candy shop, the door was locked. Mickey pulled out the silver key and slid it into the lock. With a click, the door opened, and they stepped inside. The room was dark, except for a faint glow coming from the back. "Come on, let's check it out," Mickey whispered. They followed the light to the back of the shop, where they found a large treasure chest covered in cobwebs. With a deep breath, Mickey opened the chest. Inside, they found piles of candy, chocolate bars, lollipops, and a golden trophy that read, "Halloween Home Run Champions." Goofy did a little dance. "Gosh, we did it! We found the treasure!" Donald laughed. "And we're the champions! This was the best Halloween ever." Mickey smiled widely, tipping his blue baseball hat. "You said it, pal! We sure hit a home run tonight!" Everyone cheered, grabbing handfuls of candy from the chest and sharing them around. The night had turned out to be a fantastic adventure, full of fun, friendship, and of course, plenty of treats. As they left the candy shop, the moon hung high in the sky, and the stars twinkled brightly. Mickey took one last look around at his friends, all dressed up and happy, and thought about how magical Halloween had been. "Happy Halloween, everyone!" Mickey called out. "Happy Halloween!" they all shouted back, their voices echoing through the crisp night air. And so, with full hearts and even fuller candy baskets, Mickey and his friends made their way home, already dreaming of next year's Halloween adventure. But for tonight, they had created memories that would last a lifetime, proving once again that every day with friends is a true treasure. The end.